Hello everybody and welcome to Working Title Productions. My name is Ben, his name is Ed. Alright.
And then we've got some guests.
They don't matter. Yes they do. I'm
Wow.
being silly. Introduce yourself.
I am Olivia.
Nope, they've already met you, Jackson. You can't just like...
The joke was she was going to say my name. Okay,
Nah, we're not.
I'm
doing
Jackson. You may recognise me from the sound cage.
I'm Liv. You won't recognise me.
I'm Olivia. You won't.
Really?
I'm Darcy.
This is
I'm,
my idiot brother.
I'm big. Wow.
The big D.
The big D.
The big
Big
Ds.
D's big night.
I don't think they're gonna
People
let this
don't
go on
understand
YouTube, but
this.
okay.
The big D of steel.
Okay.
They will not understand this inside joke.
His name's Darcy, it starts with D. He's not big, but that's the joke.
He's 12.
6
Wow.
months.
Big D's big night.
This is already a disaster.
I think the
Okay,
camera
Big
needs
D's
to be
it's a
like...
beautiful disaster.
Be like
like-
that movie.
Yeah, don't really like tilt it a little bit.
No, it'll be fine.
So
Just
yeah,
do it.
guys,
Just
I'm
do it.
host today.
Just do it.
Batman vs
No,
Superman.
shut up.
Opinions.
Shut it. Ben, go.
Fun!
Ben go. Alright, well, if you couldn't already tell from the thumbnail of the video, which I'm guessing will be related to the video, we've just come out of watching Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. And
It was a
I
slog.
forgot the Dawn of Justice bit. That bit's so...
there was a lot in that movie. We're filming this past midnight. Is it closer to 1 o'clock?
It's 10 to 2.
It's 10 to 2.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Wow. A lot of time just passed.
Caffeine.
Yeah, I just finished a
Beer.
cup of coffee. So, yeah, we're all kind of running on either sugar highs or caffeine highs.
Speak for
or
yourself,
fatigue.
I'm doing great.
Ed's doing great.
Hmm.
Because he had a power nap at 4
And he's
o'clock this
Jesus,
afternoon.
so
I
it's
did
fine.
too, but I woke up and I'm like, what year is it?
Well,
We've all just come out of the movie.
Well, kind of. It was like 2 hours ago.
So,
Shut up, Dawson.
to start the video, for people who are afraid of spoilers...
yeah, we'll do a
we'll
non-spoiler
all-
section.
We'll go around and do really quick
Non-spoiler
really
reviews.
quick
Yeah.
impression of the film, and then we'll dive into further, and we'll probably go into spoil territory as well. So, I will start by saying that I thought it was a pretty good movie. It took a long time to get going, but eventually the legs started moving, and slowly but surely it got to where it wanted to be, and in the end I really enjoyed it. I'll get to more about that later. Jackson?
I'd agree with you. I think the first act is a slow burn, but I definitely think that there's a payoff there. It all sort of comes together in that second act really well. Overall, I'd say if you're a comic book fan, go see it. It's great. It's definitely a movie for comic book fans, and if you're not a comic book fan, it'll just sort of talk over you.
Sorry.
It's definitely a movie for comic book fans. Like, it's... If you're not that big on DC, and you saw Man of Steel and thought, I guess I'll go see the next one, then you might like it. Probably won't.
Also, there's a high possibility you'll get confused.
There's an almost certain ability.
I was confused.
It's 2 a.m.
I was confused too.
Thanks, man.
Mia was confused as
Yeah,
well.
but you
Probably
were
'cause
asleep.
she was asleep.
and didn't watch Man of Steel.
That being said, if you are a DC fan,
It's essential viewing.
there are bits that you will
Can I
love.
just talk loud? I'm
There,
going to struggle to whisper.
there are also bits that you will
This
hate.
is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Liv?
I really liked it, more than I thought I would.
Feminism.
Feminism! No. There's a lot of great moments sandwiched in between a lot of crap, but the overall impression was really good, and also I may have nearly dislocated both Jackson and Ben's shoulders when Wonder Woman appeared, because that was fantastic.
Really hurt. Like a lot.
It was fantastic, though.
It
Yeah, it was
was so
amazing.
good. Just
Or you could say it was wonderful.
Alright.
No.
totally
Ed?
good.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
also... Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
I also really, really enjoyed it. I thought the start of it was really disjointed, and there were a lot of really strange plot lines that went nowhere. And I was kind of like, okay, this is a thing that's happening. And yeah, and none of the scenes really felt connected at the start, but eventually the movie did get going, and I thought it had a really, really strong, probably last hour and a half. And there was a lot of really great stuff in there, so I definitely give it a thumbs up. So go see it if you're a DC fan.
I'd say go see it if you're not. I'll let Darcy finish first. Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
Darcy.
that's alright. I'd probably say that there are some, good individual scenes, but it doesn't really connect together very well. One thing I like, obviously, with high budget films is, the special effects is just beautiful in some parts. And I think they reflected very well what, the embodiment of what a comic book movie should be, even though they had some flaws. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Alright.
Shitty opinion.
Sweet.
Alright.
So, if you're a DC Comics fan, that'll definitely help in the viewing experience of this film.
For sure.
If
think-
you're not,
I think if you're not a DC Comics fan, I think as long as you know what you're getting in for,
Mm.
you can still enjoy it. You're getting in for a very dark, a very thematic superhero character study, almost.
definitely.
You're not watching a Marvel movie,
You're not watching the Avengers. You're not
No.
watching.
No.
at all.
You're not even watching an X-Men movie by comparison, which is far darker than
It is
MCU.
it is a bit of a deconstruction of the genre a little bit, just in that it points out just things like bringing in the political effects.
I would say it's just
Yeah.
a little more
It
creative.
was like The
than other
Incredibles,
films.
but
Yeah.
on a more serious.
It felt like a
kind of.
drama,
It was-
honestly.
Yeah.
It felt like what?
A drama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure. It was a very dramatic movie.
It
Alright.
just happened
Alright,
as
cool. So,
superheroes.
Well,
here
those-
be spoilers.
Yeah, those are our non-spoiler impressions, and now we're going to really get into nuts and bolts of what the
Sorry.
movie was made up of, and all that jazz, and all that stuff.
And the still beans as well, because
Definitely.
First thing I will say, my biggest complaint with Man of Steel, actually I had a couple of big complaints with Man of
All of it?
Steel, was first of all the art direction in Man of Steel sucked. Heaps better in this movie.
Oh yeah,
The art
much
direction
better.
in this movie was
The
awesome.
lighting
Very,
was so much better.
very clear differences between Metropolis
Superman
and
suit
Gotham.
was blue in this
Just for-
film.
Yep. That was awesome.
Simple.
And very well. And this movie was insanely well directed. Just some really, really cool shots in here.
Cinematography definitely. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say really well directed because,
The
as
fight,
you said about that first part of the
That's
film,
true. Yeah.
which I'll get to later. We'll stick on.
Well, you
course
can
for
you
now.
can say that's badly paced and badly edited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
that's more an editing problem.
But the other thing is that Man of Steel felt like really, really big chunks of exposition and then really, really big chunks of fighting. But I felt in this that was a lot more balanced.
yeah.
You got some small scenes of action and some more story stuff and then some more action and then some more story stuff. I thought that was really well done
Definitely.
in this movie, a lot better than
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I think it's an improvement over Man of Steel.
It is an
Yes.
improvement.
It's better than
over
Man of Steel.
Man.
Definitely.
I was more emotionally attached to Man of Steel, but I feel like this film as a whole is definitely an improvement as well.
This film had some good emotional stuff as well.
it's hard
Yeah.
to be
Oh, yeah.
attached when, because Man of Steel was only focused on Superman, but this has to, take into account two different characters
Or three.
in half the time, so they only have half of the screen time each, so it's
Yeah.
kind of harder to...
Well, yeah, this
And
film,
Lex as well.
Should we
Yeah.
keep on the emotional moments for a little bit? Do you want to talk about those?
definitely.
Because
Yeah.
first of all, I would like to say that Jonathan Kent scene was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Well,
I really
the
enjoyed
mountain.
that actually, yeah.
Yeah, that was
It
cool.
was,
At first, I was a
Okay.
little confused when I first saw
Yeah.
it. Sorry, Liv.
Yeah.
But then, the moment I saw him, I'm like, oh, okay, I get what's happening here.
well,
And then I realised the way it was being shown, this is definitely just him remembering his father's advice and talking to his own conscious, which is really nice, actually.
yeah. Well, to go on a little bit of a tangent from the whole emotional scenes, I found there was quite a few moments where I go, hang on, what the hell is going on right now? And they go, oh no, it's a artistic shot or it's a dream sequence or
Yeah.
something like that. That opening shot of little kid Bruce getting hovered by
Yeah.
the swarm of bats.
Oh,
like
that was
It was
the second I saw it, I was like,
interesting.
that's really
Yeah.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But then
I was like, what?
but after I realized, oh okay, it's an artistic shot, maybe it's a dream sequence, maybe it's a nightmare, something like that. But
he
then
does describe it as a dream rather than a memory.
for
So,
sure, yeah, he does.
Yeah,
but
it's a dream.
yeah, but that the opening
It's
credits
still
being
odd.
the origin story of Batman was done really well. It was a really good way to bring in that layer of his character without making it another origin story.
Yeah.
It kind
It's
of
still I feel like, are we really going to see Batman's origin story again? We've seen it
Yeah.
a couple of times. Everyone knows it. It's probably the one superhero origin story that most people know about.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
So I was just kind of like, you
that-
could have just
Everybody
started
knows
it.
Spider-Man.
and Superman.
Yeah,
to a
Spider-Man. But you could have just started it with him, I don't know,
punching the shit out of people.
I was gonna go with like standing in his parents' grave, but okay, punching the shit
Actually,
out of
that's a
people.
good idea too.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Also, I love how the entire opening sequence was slow motion. I was like classic Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Just make the entire opening
yeah.
sequence in slow motion.
Yeah.
It's one
But
of the
yeah,
reasons I'm not a
um,
huge fan of Snyder.
But yeah, there was a lot of moments where it was a bit confusing. So you get
Mm.
things
Definitely,
like
yeah.
that Jonathan Kent scene,
Mm.
like no, he's definitely dead. What's going on
Yeah.
here? Like, oh, okay, it's a moment of like
Also,
self-reflection.
he can't be in the Arctic wearing
Also,
casual clothes.
also
Yeah.
that. But then even things like just little things like again in the opening credits with the murder of the Waynes, there was one of Martha's pearls bounced off her hand and down into the drain, and it followed that pearl, and then it hit the ground.
Where Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
It hit
Yes,
the ground
I
at the
noticed
bottom of
that.
the well,
That was pretty
and
cool.
like it was cool, but it was also really confusing as
Jarring.
to try and
It was
understand.
very jarring.
There was a
I
lot
think
of
that
really
was the point.
yeah, I think,
Like,
but
they did- yeah.
there was a lot of very, very jarring moments where they were trying to go into a dream sequence, but it was
Yeah.
very, very clunky. And it was very just like a hard shift into this completely new thing, and it takes a couple seconds to like compose yourself and figure out what the hell's going on.
And also, I feel like there were a lot of dream sequences that didn't really have any. Well, not that they weren't relevant to the plot, but I feel like they're kind of a cheap thing, just like here, it's
do-
just
yeah,
going to dump
yeah,
a
to
whole
do
load of
visually
themes
cool
on
stuff,
you and
yeah.
foreshadowing, and it's like, I feel like it's kind of a hack
I thought-
just
I
to get
thought-
a whole
I
like
thought
an
the-
emotional
I
impact.
thought the Coffin Demon one was unnecessary.
Yeah, that was.
I
I
what was
thought
that about?
I thought the Apocalypse one was awesome.
It was.
It was
Except
awesome,
for
but
Batman
it's also
guns, but-
really unexplained.
Yeah,
I'll get
there's,
to
Why
that
ga-
bit as
there's
well.
two things about that sequence. First one is that bat guns. That was one of my personal largest complaints about the movie was bat guns and bat murder and super murder, which was also bad. Really bad. Like character, not big no.
We'll get
But
to that.
yeah, the other thing is that whole apocalypse scene sort of seemed a little shoehorned in. Like it was like
I feel like they could have broken it up and had
Yeah.
little parts of it
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
different points, but they
Because
just gave
it-
it
yeah,
gave it all of it at once.
because
which
it
was
felt
a big
like
choice.
And
they
we
had
never
gone.
know why he's getting these flashes.
No, we
Mm.
don't.
He
Yeah, they
shouldn't
don't
see
explain
the Omega symbol drilled into the ground.
Yeah.
It's just odd.
Well, it felt like they got to the end of the movie. Well, not like the end, but like it felt like they scripted out the movie and went, right, here we go. Wait, we need to have stuff to get them hooked for the Justice League movie. Like, they're like, oh no, there's nothing here hinting at these other bits.
Yeah.
So they just
Also,
jammed in like a 15-minute sequence in the middle of it.
mm,
Yeah,
of
it went for
this.
so long.
And then jammed in the the 3 cameos at the end.
also,
Yeah,
why does Lex Luthor know about Darkseid?
yeah,
that was
Good.
interesting. I feel like he must have learnt it from the Kryptonian ship.
yeah.
Because
Oh, no, that's true.
Because
yeah.
the ship said, there's
Yeah,
information about 100
Yeah.
different planets
yeah,
on here.
that's true.
And-
That-
and he
that'd
said-
be-
and he said-
not 800.
Hundreds, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, teach me. So I feel like that's where he learned about Darkseid.
yeah, that's...
But I thought it was super cool, but like interesting.
yeah.
That's
I have two emotional scenes to comment on. I like at the time when he was just rising up, and I was like, "What is this?" But like when you think about it, it's like kind of reflects
When
how
he
he
was
was
rising up?
fearful.
Hmm.
But then he uses that like when the bats rise him up, like
Oh,
the
right.
cyclone. I'm like,
Batman.
he's
Yeah.
actually using that fear for his own benefit
Yeah.
and doing things no human has done before him.
There was definitely purpose to the scenes.
Yeah.
They were just a bit they weren't
Yeah.
amazingly executed.
It was
Yeah.
highly stylized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when they
And also-
flunked, oh, you can go.
No, that's right. You go.
Like I hated when he was like, Martha, like save her, and I'm like I hate that trope where they just don't communicate, and then it just kind of ruined
Yeah.
that emotional build up of the last 2 hours
Mm.
by just like
Just say it.
yeah, it was so frustrating. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
But I thought the moment where like Batman was like ready to kill Superman, I thought that was really well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
The fight itself we'll get to later, but like
Mm.
I think the moment where like Batman had him like down and out and was like just ready to finish him off, and then like all that stuff happened. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
I don't think that they really built up Batman's, like, I feel like it was it seemed a bit out of character of him to, like, want to completely kill Superman. I'm like, what's his reason for it?
Yeah.
Apart from,
Yeah.
he's a god figure and he's come down, he could kill us all. Like,
Yeah.
it seemed a bit like,
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know,
the
I feel-
I
it
think
felt
the
a bit out of-
Apocalypse vision was like showed Batman that like he can be like Superman could become a dictator if he wanted and could
Yeah.
have his own army, and that's
Yeah.
what Batman was ultimately afraid of.
Yeah, but like when you just have that feeling presented in a dream sequence and then you don't really return to it when it comes to
Yeah.
him like ready to kill Superman at the end, it was like it feels a bit not. It was an issue of pacing. I think if they, like we said, if they spread out the dream sequence over a long period of time, then it may have been executed better.
Exactly.
But I did one thing I did like about that dream sequence is like I know we have a problem with the bat guns, but like it was interesting that Batman was like conceiving of this world if Superman did become a dictator, like he could be
it worked
forced
in
Yeah,
to.
that
he would have to.
So
he
it
would
worked
have to
there.
cross the line. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have to cross that line and use guns. But
Give us
But
an
then-
Injustice movie.
But then at the same time, he straight up uses guns on the Batwing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there-
Yeah.
and when he's breaking in to save Martha, which is another thing I want to get to in a sec, there's a scene where he disarms a bloke, and because the action scenes are a little bit hastily chopped together and they're a bit difficult to follow,
Yeah.
like you don't really pick it up, but it looks like he grabs the dude's hand and holds the trigger down and spins this dude, and it's like
Yeah, he
you know,
does.
it's-
That's more like cover fire rather than like actually taking out people. Like no one got hit by those bullets.
yeah, but it's still pushing that line. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
and
I
it's
know.
yeah, and it's all, you know, it's
that.
it's that classic outside Xbox loophole. Just like, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't me pulling the trigger, I was just holding his hand. Like, it just, it seemed to be pushing it in a way that Batman wouldn't push it.
Like I think the way Nolan handled the Batman violence with him in fight scenes was a lot better. Even if even if you looked closely at the choreography of Nolan's fight scenes, they were pretty pretty
Basic.
poor, really basic,
yeah.
just like people struggling. But I feel like he understood that side of Batman better. But yeah, that's I'm a bit biased.
We'll just finish off the last emotional point of the movie, which of
I
course.
haven't even said anything yet.
Oh, you want to talk about Batman as well?
No, I want to talk about Superman.
Well, yeah, that's what
okay.
I'm getting to. That's what I'm leading to because we're on the tangent of emotional moments at the moment, and so I want to talk about the final emotional moment that we haven't
ultimate.
talked about it, which
I have
was.
Alright.
Can I just
do you
cough?
want to say then?
Go on.
Oh,
Can I just cough
get
first?
angry at me. They all get to ramble on, but I've got to be quick. That's
Hey,
how
we're
it works.
guests. Can I just cough first?
Well, what do you want to talk about, Ben?
First of all, well, my emotional moment, I'm not allowed to say these things, was, look, all you people who haven't seen it should be gone by now, like, well and truly. When Superman goes to that hearing and the bomb goes off and you see it from the outside and it cuts back to the inside and it's just Superman surrounded by the fire. I told most of you this before, and there's just this, you see this one tear in his eye and he's completely surrounded by fire. I thought it was a really poignant image and it just sort of left me like, no, this can't happen. No, they're gonna hate Superman for this. He's gonna hate himself for this. And yeah, it was kind of a gut wrenching feeling. And now I feel like the
That's-
one
That was-
edge will-
that
That
was a
scene was
really
so
cool
well
scene.
done, and it was because it was built up by that scene with June and Lex in his father's
Yeah.
study, and that scene was so creepy.
That was-
and
yeah,
then
it was
having
really
that,
well done.
like with the whole peach iced tea thing,
Yeah.
and then she sees it on the
Yeah.
the desk in the courtroom, and then just freaks out. It was so well done.
The only other thing about that, though, is, like you said, that scene was set up to have a really profound effect on Superman, and like you do see that like look of defeat in his eyes,
Yeah.
and, like, but like they don't really address it at any other point during the movie. Which, to be fair, 2-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie, like there's not really time to, but it feels like that's the kind of thing that would really affect him, and it kind of just made him feel sad for a bit, and then they just sort of moved on. Which you know is
I don't
really
know,
just a time
he
constraint.
sort
I
of
think.
mopes for a fair while afterwards.
No, that is true. He does
Not the whole movie.
actually, no,
No,
yeah,
no,
I
no.
withdraw that
Super
statement.
mope.
He does disappear for like 3 weeks. So,
Something like that.
yeah.
It's like overnight, but anyway.
Now, Ed, the other emotional point, I feel like I know what it is. You want to say it?
No, you can do it.
Well, I really hope we've got the same one.
We have the same one.
Do you guys need
Right
someone to
at
hold
the
your hand?
very, very, very end, when you see just the tiny little bit of rubble rise up off Superman's coffin. Yeah?
I was just saying Superman's death in general.
No, Superman's death. I was like, I refused. Did some of you guys cry? Not all of you.
No, I didn't.
I had tears.
Obviously,
You
it was coming back.
tears.
There were tears in my
Hold them
teaducks,
back?
but they didn't.
No.
Bagpipes make me cry.
No,
Okay?
I don't-
Bagpipes
I-
and funerals make me cry.
I don't really cry at
Bagpipes
movies.
playing Amazing
Yes,
Grace.
I was
Oh god.
Mia was asleep.
I was going to cry, and then I like refused. I'm like, no, he's not dead. He's not. No. I've read the comic books.
You were in
Superman
a
is
world
not
of
dead.
pain at that moment.
I
I just looked
was.
over and
I
you were
was
just like
so conflicted.
What he's saying is he was crying, but he doesn't want to admit it.
he was emoting heavily.
Was I crying?
A little bit. A little bit.
You don't have to have tears coming out of your eyes to be crying.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was crying then. I'll cop
There you
that.
go.
And then, yeah, you see the rubble rise up right at the end. I was like, yes.
I have a lot to
He's
say about
still
Superman's
there.
death.
A lot.
Yeah, I've got heaps.
Go.
Here we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
death itself, awesome. Just like as soon as I saw Doomsday grow that spike back after his hand had been cut off,
yeah.
I was like,
Had a
oh,
bad feeling.
There.
oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
look, the only thing...
And it was
just,
much better than Doomsday and Superman punching each other really
Yes.
hard. That was much better.
however, just the entire idea, like the look of that scene with like the orange light around them and one of them stabbing and the other one killing at the same time. Well, they were both stabbing, but you get the point. Just a little bit too much like X-Men 3. Just a little bit. Like, it wasn't at all in the context of things.
Yeah.
But just that shot of, like, the stab and the dying, like...
That's
it-
okay.
I
that's
mean,
just Phoenix
sure.
getting stabbed.
Wolverine
Sure.
stabs in X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Phoenix is just sort of there like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you should just go a giant stick and then just put it on the end and then just be like,
Anyway,
Well, I mean, it
I
was a
thought
giant stick of kryptonite, yeah.
that was really cool. I thought
Yep.
how the Superman shield shattered was awesome. And then just how like Batman Wonder Woman just kind of like dealt with his body.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then like the dual funerals was really well done.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
excellent.
But then he comes back after being in a coffin.
Like,
Now Ben,
took you that
correct
long.
me if I'm wrong, but Superman is powered by yellow sun, is he not?
Yeah.
He's not getting any sun in that coffin.
No.
He's not healing.
That's a good point.
He's not healing
That's a good
at
point.
all. What I would have loved is...
But it is what happens in the comics as well. And you can make the argument...
Oh yeah, because he goes
he's
into
already-
like low power mode or whatever
And
it
you
is.
can
like
make the
this
argument that he's
Kryptonian
already been
hibernation.
exposed
He's
to
not-
Slade.
Hey,
You can make-
he's not R2-D2 in The Force Awakens.
No, there's
That's
like
how they explain
they go
it.
into like a healing coma.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's
no,
what
yeah,
Kryptonians
yeah.
do.
And
It's
he
really
comes back with a
stupid.
beard.
It's
And
really
you-
stupid.
You can make the argument that he's already been exposed to the sun for so long that it is residual regeneration.
Here's how I would have done it. No funerals. Straight after Superman dies, they take that Wonder Woman Batman take him back to the Batcave with Lois, and they're just like, what powers this guy? We don't know anything about him. What powers him? And Lois will be like, the sun. And Wonder Woman will be like, sweet, let's go.
Let's
And
throw
just
him
like
into the
flies in... No, not throw him into the sun.
Viking funeral.
Just like fly into space and kind of just like hold him for a bit.
Well, can Wonder Woman fly in this one? We
She
saw her
can-
run really fast.
she
We
can
didn't see
No,
her
she
fly.
could fly. No, she was flying.
Yeah.
She
I
was-
mean,
she
she
was-
never came more than a couple meters off the ground.
Yeah, but I think like you
There was
make
no
the
need
assumption
to.
that she's powerful enough to fly.
I suppose so.
And she flies in the comics. And
She
I
does
don't
fly in
think
the
they would take
comics.
that off
Invisible
her.
plane.
Invisible plane, so pointless. I hate that so much.
So yeah,
Very.
I would have liked a bit more just like
I feel like that
stuff.
that
But
might have
like
taken the
a bit more
gravitas off it a little bit.
yeah, I know it would
We
have,
would
but
have
like
lost that
at the
moment.
same time, I can't help but think like, how is he healing?
Yeah.
Apart from the healing coma thing, which
Yeah.
is
Oh,
also,
there's
which is
also
still
the
stupid.
whole atmospherics thing.
Are we gonna get
What was
Cyborg
healing?
Batman?
Pardon?
Cyborg Batman. Are we gonna get Cyborg Superman? It's like 2 in the morning.
I really hope not.
Yeah. We're gonna get Six Shades kills a dude.
Oh, man.
Actually, you know what I thought? When I saw
Superman.
Batman looking at the coffin at the end of the movie, I actually thought they were going to flip the coin from the Dark Knight
Yeah.
Returns and have Batman turn away, but then like,
kind of like
here's something.
yeah, kind of like green, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
I don't know how
I thought
Batman would have done it.
Batman
Maybe he's got like a
and
speaker in the coffin.
Wonder Woman's final conversation was really cool.
Yes.
That
At
was
the
cool.
cemetery,
That was
I
good.
thought that was awesome.
Seemed a bit like.
Can we use that to segue into bad things?
No, I was going to
feel
talk
like
about
that-
Batman for a second
Okay.
Yes.
because Batman.
Batman.
Can I just justify him for a second?
Sure.
Like I see it like it was one of those cartoon Justice League movies. I can't remember which one, but like Batman has all these different ways.
Justice League Doom.
That one where you can
Got a
take out
really
each of the
good story.
members
Edgy, but
of
only
Justice
got, like,
League.
half a second.
And I just see it as more of an
always one
extreme
in every
version
film.
of him. Like he's in a lot of his iterations, he's a bit of a loner, and he just has like
Trust issues.
a him, yeah, trust issues, and he just has a him against the world, and he's the only person who he can like be fully good in his own mind.
Except for all the Robins. But
Yeah,
yes.
he has
And
a habit of
Alfred.
collecting children.
Yeah, it's a
Alfred
bit-
in the film.
We don't
Yeah.
talk
He's
about
like-
that.
he's
we'll get
like-
to that. We'll get to that.
He's
But
like
yeah,
Gandalf
that's
collecting
pretty
the
much it.
dwarves.
Yeah.
Hobbits.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Ben Affleck,
Yes.
probably the best Batman we've ever seen on screen.
I'm still divided.
The definitive Batman.
Alright,
I would
The
say.
most
Lives-
comic accurate Batman, I would
Liv's
say,
a
apart
bit
from
of
all the
a
killing.
Nolan fangirl, so she's struggling.
Yeah,
with
but I
this.
do appreciate that the Nolan Batman films weren't
not
really.
not really comic book films.
Yeah.
They weren't the. Yeah, that's exactly it. They
Is
weren't
this the
comic book
oldest
films, but I
Batman
appreciated them.
Their
Nolan-
character
Nolan's
design was
Batman.
a dude wearing a
And
black suit.
So like Dark
thematically,
Knight
like
Rises.
I thought they were really good movies, but like
Nolan's
in terms of
Dark Knight
comic
Rises
book,
and
Yeah.
Dark Knight,
comic comic book movies, they weren't really that
No.
good. But I did think that Zack Snyder took a lot visually from Nolan. I noticed that particularly on the scene where he's on the mountain, where Superman's on the mountain with his dad.
Yeah,
Mm.
John
That
Kent.
that just looked exactly like one of the planets in Interstellar,
Oh, okay.
and also the one of the Batmobile chase scenes. I'm like, this looks like something out of The Dark Knight, and I don't know if that was intentional or because I noticed that Nolan was an executive producer, but like he did kind of. It felt like a bit of a homage, maybe
Yeah.
I feel
in
like,
a good way.
I feel like it was a blend of
Yeah,
all of the Batmans,
I-
and then a sprinkle of something.
You know what
new.
I can't believe they did? I can't believe they did the falling through the ground thing again from Batman
Oh,
Begins.
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
believe they redid that.
For a moment, I thought this was
and it was
just
really bad.
Batman.
Yeah, it wasn't as well
For a
done.
moment, I
Yes.
thought I was
What
watching
was the
Batman
point of
Begins
that?
again.
Why
Yeah.
did he just chuck him
Just-
down like that?
just-
Should we go back to talking about Ben Affleck then?
Yeah, Ben
Something
Affleck.
I really liked about his adaptation was the fact that, like, especially in that opening scene where we're first introduced to not Bruce Wayne but the Batman, like, that just the scene where the cop turns around, sees him in the corner, fires off one shot, and he like crawls across the roof
Yeah.
out the window.
It's really
like,
cool.
it's really really well done, and it
That was
really
good.
like brings to mind that.
I was actually able to buy it,
Huh?
which is something I could never do in the animated
Yeah.
films.
Yeah, right. Like
And
it was
they-
very. They drew a lot of attention to the use of fear that Batman uses, which is something that
Yes.
gets skipped over a lot
Yes.
in
And they,
all
like-
of the movies.
And his detective work.
yeah,
We
Exactly.
got
yeah.
Detective Batman. In
We
this
did
movie,
get a
which
lot
was
of-
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And how it didn't like decrypt in like 1 minute.
Yeah, that
Like,
too. Yeah, he didn't
7
just like
minutes,
clack
yeah.
on keys for a bunch and then oh no, it's decrypted. Like he had to
Oh,
wait.
we've hacked like the.
Yeah,
Yeah, which
yeah,
was
that
also a fantastic excuse to have a shoehorned dream sequence, and then
Which wasn't good.
and then the dopest Flash cameo,
Yeah.
which was completely unexpected. Should we leave that for later?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave
Yeah,
that for
sure.
later. We'll get to the
Yeah.
cameo.
Ben Affleck is Batman. That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
It's
point of
fantastic.
the Nolan
Video.
segue was I'm divided as to whether I like Christian Bale or Ben Affleck better. But I
Ben Affleck.
have to say I love both of them. As Batman, I thought they
yeah.
brought really
Can I
good things
just
to
put it
it.
on record that
What?
me and Edward was sold on Ben Affleck as Batman the moment he was cast?
Same.
The
Everyone
world
I feel like
wasn't.
was
everyone
so
else-
against it.
Yeah.
My sister texted me going, "Oh my god, this is a joke. This is terrible." I'm like, "It's like the best casting
Yeah.
ever."
He
You've
looks
seen him
like
act in
him from
anything in the
comics.
last-
He's
It's just
already
the
played. He's already played Batman.
He looks-
in the town. He plays Batman.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also he looks a lot like in the Scott Snyder's Court of Owls run. He looks a lot like the
Yeah,
Batman.
actually,
was
no,
running.
you say
and
it.
and Batman from the Arkham
That's
games.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too. That's what I thought when I first started picturing him as
the
Batman.
chin.
I'm like,
It's the chin.
it's the
chin.
chin. It's definitely the
He's got the butt dimple thing.
The butt dimple.
I like the way that he was like.
That
He
simple.
seemed broken for like the whole movie until he like. Superman was like Martha, and like something
Yeah.
in his head clicked or something, and
Yeah.
he suddenly had sympathy for other people.
Yeah,
So
song came
Played
back
it
there,
so well.
definitely.
But it was believable sort of click.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I
Yeah,
hate people
yeah.
now.
He was, he was fantastic. Ben Affleck was fantastic in that scene.
I think.
Yeah.
Just
While we're Ben Affleck is perfect as Batman,
yeah,
Gal Gadot does an exceptional job
Oh.
as Wonder Woman in a very limited role.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she had like
Yeah, she didn't have
less
much
than
to do.
20 lines.
I had my
lines,
doubts.
Not
If
as
that.
much screen time as you would think.
no.
And then Henry Cavill
was-
is still so perfect as Superman.
I actually
He looks like a
don't
statue.
really like him as Superman, but I love him as Clark Kent. I think he's an awesome
He's-
Clark Kent, but not. There's just something. Ben, you nearly knocked over the laptop.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But there's something.
I'm trying to
There's something
avoid
just like just missing in his
He's just-
Superman performance.
he's
I'm
lacking
not sure
that
what it
warmth.
is.
I think
But he's still growing as a character. He's a lot
That's
warmer
true.
than he was in Man of
This
Steel.
is
You're
true.
seeing the progression.
That's
now.
true. I still think that after 2 movies, we should be seeing that, like,
Oh no, I was definitely wishing it had come faster.
yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon
I'm being patient.
yeah, because
Like-
my favorite Superman is All Star Superman. I love the entire humanity's dad, Superman.
If you
Humanity's
if you
Just-
love All-Star Superman, you should go read Superman American Alien, which is also a non-canon run that's being
Okay.
written at the moment
Max
by
Landis.
Max Landis.
All right, I'm
and
gonna
it's
look at that.
really, really good.
Dope. I'm on.
Which is
Also-
the complete opposite Superman to the one we're getting in the Snyder universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biggest complaint about our characters? Too much killing. Too much murder. So much killing. Straight up just throwing people through walls,
Yeah.
exploding cars full of
Exactly.
people.
What was the brand
Can I vent
about,
for a
honestly?
second?
Ben has venting.
This was
Brand,
said.
the Bat brand.
This
Oh.
was said in another review I saw on YouTube, but I need to do this
brands.
because that person was right. It was Mr. Sunday Movies. He did a review, literally like 5 minutes into the movie. It's Superman versus a terrorist who's holding Lois Lane at gunpoint. Now, like, this terrorist has got no chance against Superman because he's Superman. He can move super fast.
He's got a
He
pistol.
doesn't need to move super fast. He has laser vision. He should just laser the gun out of the dude's arm. But what does he do? No, he flies the dude through a wall.
Through several walls.
Through several walls, you're
He's
right.
dead.
Like, maybe if he'd gone through one, you're like, oh, okay, maybe he survives and
No, he's
Superman's
dead.
just been excessive. Multiple walls. The dude is dead.
Also, why are there
Flat
that
out
many walls?
Dead.
Also, what's even worse about the
question.
killing is they don't even bring it up.
No.
They don't
Yeah.
explain
No,
why they
It's
do
there
it.
and
It's
it's
just
gone. And it's,
It's
so...
like-
it just
whole-
happens.
It's so uncharacteristic.
It's so human, and like the big
Yeah.
thing that I love about DC characters is that they seem like, and the film did touch on this, that they're gods. They seem like gods walking in a human world, so their
Mm.
actions aren't
Yeah.
human, in the sense that they're not bound by the human desire to just kill and maim and attack everyone that's in your way.
Yeah.
Like they actually have this conflict within them, going, like, I didn't like that they seemed so human in how they, in the violence and how
Well-
they took out bad guys.
I'm
You know what I
I'm
mean?
actually okay with them being human because you gotta have your lead roles be relatable.
Yeah.
But
There is a line.
they should not be so
Not
I guess-
flippant, but
short-sighted. Really, is the best word I can think of. They shouldn't be resulting to killing someone such an extreme force like that.
yeah.
Well, Superman
So
wasn't.
easily.
It felt like watching
like
Jason
in Man of
Bourne
Steel,
kill people
Superman
instead
kills one
Batman.
guy, and it's General Zod, and you can buy into the reason he's killing General Zod.
Well, he kills
In
a
this
lot more
movie,
people from the
Yeah.
aftermath of.
yeah, that's
The
collateral
destruction.
damage. He's not purposely killing
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
But like in this, he just like straight up purposely
yeah,
kills
he
people.
purposely kills
And
at least two
And
guys.
nobody
especially the Batmobile sequence, which as an action sequence was awesome.
Yeah,
I really,
I'm
really
a
liked
sucker
it.
for a good
But
Batman
people clearly
scene.
die.
But that being said, like
Of course you are.
you see the Batmobile ram a car so hard that it flips several times. You're like, okay,
And you're
so
like, you're-
all of
you're
them are
dead.
dead. And then he tethers that same car and drags it with him for a couple hundred meters, and he's like,
Until
okay,
it
Which
smacks-
now
looks
they're
sick.
really
until
now
it
they're
smacks
really
into
dead.
another car,
And
and
then-
they're all dead.
He was just
And then he
making
carves
sure they
it
were dead.
to flip the car that had like 6 corpses in it on top of the other car that had 5 people in it, and then both exploded in a massive fireball. And that was 2
They're
of
all
the maybe
dead.
10 cars that he took out in a very, very similar fashion.
Yeah.
And not good, real bad. Like
Batman doesn't
lots of
kill.
And I'm
murder.
okay. And he
That's the whole.
kills.
Ugh.
He kills in the not flashback, in the vision sequence of his nightmare.
Yeah.
He
So-
straight up
Which
snaps the
kind
dude's
of
neck.
makes sense.
Yeah, we talked about
But
that. Like he's
that's-
crossing a
but
line.
that is but
yes.
that is in his own vision, and I think when the world's got to that point where there's clearly this super god dictator ruling the world, I think Batman using guns and snapping necks at that point is okay because he's pretty desperate at that
and
point.
it's
Yeah.
and
He has to
Superman's army as
Yeah,
well.
he has to
He's taking down
survive at
soldiers.
that point. So I'm okay with it there, and it's only in a vision. But then for him to just walk out of that vision and then just be like shooting people, as he said, is wrong.
Yeah.
That's so fundamentally against Batman, and Superman not finding a way to not kill a dude. Like, it's okay when he's fighting Zod, there's no other way. There's like 1,000 other ways for him to stop the villains in his
Batarangs were
kills.
underused.
Oh,
I love
Batarangs.
Batarangs.
yeah,
Were
Batarangs are good.
Yeah, he
I mean,
used one.
That's a
I
minor
liked him
gripe,
as a
though.
symbol though.
That
Like,
is a really minor gripe.
Yeah.
There are
I know.
bigger issues.
I
in
love
this film.
I love the use of him as a calling card. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
that
Like the
was
scene
cool.
when Lex comes in to find his kryptonite stolen, and it's just the single batarang sitting in.
The
That
way
was
he used his
good,
grappling
man.
hook was awesome as well.
Oh, the grappling
Yeah.
hook. There was a couple of really good scenes with that.
Actually,
sure.
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching him, like, get away from Doomsday using the grappling hook.
Yeah.
And at first,
Yeah.
I'm like, at first I was like, oh no, is this really cartoony? And like, no, actually, I buy this. This is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's
Okay.
and that's when I actually started having fun with the film.
Something I didn't buy there though was it was literally the snap second after that like really heavy-handed Dark Knight reference. Not Dark Knight Returns reference, where he's like
lightning.
hanging off the lightning. Yeah. Then he turns and he zips away again, just as the laser hits wherever he just was, and then he's zooming off onto this other thing. Gets to the end of the thing, just face plants into the wall, just goes poof, peels off like a bloody cartoon and lands on the fire escape.
he's like improvising. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he's
But
like, just
still-
like, get out of here.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
anyway, just
Which
get
is
anywhere.
reasonable, but Batman like shoots his grappling hook. When he gets to the end, like he might land heavily or he might like flip over the wall or something. He doesn't just straight up faceplant into a wall and then like fall off. Which is he pretty much
Yeah.
just bounced off that wall. Which
Like a basketball.
yes, like a matte black spray
Also,
painted
just
basketball.
quickly, while we're on that, the suit's strength was a little inconsistent.
Mm.
I feel like it's bullet resistant, but
Yeah.
then there are times where it flat out, like
Like
a
a dude
dude
stabs him.
point
Yeah.
Dude
blank
stabs him.
range
Yeah.
shoots him in
Yes.
the
The
skull.
cowl
Yeah.
is
And the
bulletproof.
cowl
The
The
does
cowl
it.
is definitely bulletproof.
Yeah.
It has to be,
Yeah.
but I can't.
But
And
the
then-
rest of
But
it,
then-
the rest of it is
no,
like
no,
Yeah.
no,
white
I don't
Kevlar.
know-
The rest
I
of it
don't
is
know
white
that I can
Kevlar.
buy it being bulletproof though.
Yeah.
It looks like it's made of rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we only
Again,
saw
why
we
I
only
love the
saw
Nolan
it taken
back
off in the
suit.
dream sequence.
Innovation.
Good point.
Well, in the rest of it, it looks really
Actually,
solid. Like,
you see him
wh-
take it
like
off as he
when
goes through the Batcave.
that's true,
But
but
that's
like when
briefly
it's being
in the
held up
background.
in the statue, like when it's just on in storage, it's not held up by anything.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like
Maybe it's just
Molded.
a rubber lining.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
I think it's molded like
Yeah.
for his face. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so with some thought I can buy that, but still,
Mm.
just for a moment there, I thought,
Yeah.
could he really have survived that? And it was just enough to
But
pull
did
me
he
out of
not?
the movie, just for a moment, and
Mm.
like a movie
But he
supposed to keep
definitely
you
reacted to it though. Like
Yeah.
like getting hit by a bullet, even if your cowl is
Sorry.
bulletproof, is no small thing. Like
yeah,
that's
he
like
stumbled.
that's like
and
throwing your head forward
it took
and
him a
like
second, yeah.
putting you off balance.
That decision I really liked. That didn't take me out of it. That like I saw this dude walk up behind him, just seeing that movement and pointing the gun at the back of Batman's head, and you're like, oh, and then it bounces off, and you're like, yeah, like just sort of that 8-year-old me was like, yeah, get him.
And it
But
did
so I
become
really
fun.
enjoyed that.
The movie became a lot of fun in that final act.
Mm.
And then Batman and Superman, once they stopped fighting each other and they started working together, they're like bouncing off each other. You don't have the stick, do you? No, I've been a little busy. I was just like, this is so funny.
Yeah.
This is how they should
Should
be.
we
Because Lois was
talk
an idiot and chucked it down the wall.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Should we talk about the action sequences for a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. So just a heads up, we're at 38 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's really good. We're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
well.
I didn't like how Batman didn't use strategy as much as he has before.
Mm.
Like he didn't use any of the equipment he had available. Like he was kind of just like brute forcing his way through
I mean-
like 15 people.
I do think that
Oh,
there
that's
were some
right. Okay.
things that were pretty good. Like, while they did bring back the Batman Begins fall through the floor thing, what was really cool was something, and it was subtle about it, but I noticed it was really cool, was they did the fall through the floor thing, and you see Batman zip up onto the roof, and there's a shot of him sitting in the rafters, but then it immediately cuts to all these soldiers shooting down the hole.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just this second of misdirection where everyone's like, he's down there, he just blew everything up, shooting
That
down,
was
just
cool.
ran
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
and then one of the
That
dudes
was
getting
tight.
shot down gets hit from above and zipped up, and everyone turns around and goes, "Where the hell did that come from?"
Yeah.
Like there were
was cool.
there were scenes where he like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he used not
Yeah.
not like
Misdirection.
yeah he did he wasn't
You
whipping.
can have a lot
I
of
think-
fun with a Batman
Yeah.
fight scene in that way because
With-
that's how he fights.
yeah,
And
but
that's what
also
I love
you
about
don't have
seeing-
to resort to the gadgets.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
there
I
was
guess.
no shark repellent or anything like that.
Also, he's fighting Doomsday. No one has a strategy for that.
That
Yeah.
He has a really good strategy for when he fights Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used a bunch
But
of really
it
cool
kind of
traps
really
there.
blindsided him because he was so focused on how he's going to kill Superman that he didn't even think, oh, maybe
might
he's
kill me too.
yeah.
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 It was funny when he just like broke through like 3 walls and like he's gonna come through the door and he's
yeah.
But,
What about that guy who got hit right in the face with a crate? Just like crate right.
Oh, yeah,
He's also
His
dead.
face should be smashed.
He's also
to
dead.
bits.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a face anymore. It came off.
Yeah.
And Face Off,
Sure.
starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Please stop.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
No. Don't.
Please. I'll be on for that.
What, live viewing of Face Off?
No, we'll just do a review of Face Off.
I haven't seen Face Off.
Jackson,
Oh, don't.
Jackson,
Yep.
you're not coming back.
I'm going back
I
to
learned the
Cage,
hard
aren't
way
I?
that you don't
Hey,
watch
okay.
bad Nicolas Cage movies for fun.
So-
because they're never as funny as you think.
So
they're
most
gonna
of the Batman scenes where he's just fighting goons, really cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Can we all agree with that?
yeah.
That one punch where he's just the dude just ends up on his
Yeah.
face, just the full
Yeah,
180.
he's also dead.
Yeah,
He's
also-
Yeah,
also
he's
dead.
super dead.
Oh.
Come on.
Also, I love that he hits the dude, hits him,
Like,
Mm.
and he turns around and just flat out hits the dude so hard.
He just does
Like
like
the
180.
whole body flips.
Yeah.
It's a full on
Right.
swivel.
It wouldn't have been like 360 if the floor hadn't gotten in the way. Like that head was going the whole way
Oh,
around,
man.
and the floor gets in the way. It's just
So great.
what do you guys think of the actual Batman v Superman fight?
very
I didn't
short.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
quite
short.
short.
Like for anybody who's looking for a popcorn flick, like looking to go and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna watch these two guys fight each other for 2.5 hours. Nope, that's not what this
No,
movie is.
not at
And
all.
I think that's what a lot of people's problems with the movie is
Yeah.
that they're expecting a 2.5 hour
Yep.
violent.
I was
flick.
expecting the fight to come way earlier.
Yeah.
I got the L on this movie completely wrong.
Yeah,
Mm.
same.
I was alright.
But I was into it.
Yeah, same.
I,
I was glad I was wrong about it
A
because
lot
it
of
kept me on
people
my
were
toes.
thrown off about it. Yeah.
I was really worried that going into it, because I'm firmly in the Superman will win in a fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, just if he wants to kill him, laser vision done.
Yeah.
But like the way that they played out the fight and the way that Batman got the upper hand was like there was no moment to make me go like, yeah, no, that's not what, that's like crap.
Mm.
Like it was all
Mm.
not believable because it's
No, it was
it's
believable.
because
Superman lets his guard down for a second and
He was
lets
emotionally-
himself
he was
fall into
emotionally
Batman's
unstable.
trap.
Yeah.
And the moment he does that, the moment he lets himself fall in Batman's trap, that's it. The table's completely turned. And
Yeah.
Batman's the guy, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
yeah,
And
it's,
that's all he needs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how it happened.
it's
I actually-
definitely yeah.
There was some cool stuff in the actual Batman Superman fight, but
Nice, okay.
something about it just seemed really. No, he's fine. He's fine.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Something about it just felt really, really slow, and just it.
Yeah.
I was just like, why is this so slow? It just felt like almost like two like
Sluggish.
rocks like punching each other.
Yeah.
Apart from all the cool trap stuff.
I mean, I was okay
And the
with
cool smoke
Superman
stuff.
being
Superman was
slow,
holding back,
sluggish.
obviously.
Because Superman has never needed to think about how he punches
Yeah.
before. He's a guy who's
Yeah.
got so much
Yeah.
strength he can just hit. Whereas but Batman, I felt like he should have been a lot sharper. It should have been a lot more.
It was a heavy
Well,
suit.
I
you-
suppose in his
At the
movements.
same time,
Yeah.
I think it was like it, for me that sort of sluggishness with bats really
He's
sold.
wearing a metal suit.
It sold the
Yeah.
weight of that
Yeah.
suit really, really well. Like, if he was if he was zipping around like he would in the other suit,
Mm.
it would feel like a cheap
a
like
cartoon.
not even. It would feel like he was wearing like carbon fiber like cosplay
Yeah.
armor. Like
Yeah,
it'd
true.
be nothing. It would feel like he was wearing cardboard. Whereas that sort of sluggishness really sold the weight and
The
like
brutality,
Yeah.
I suppose.
And
the
also-
power behind
And
it.
also
yeah.
the fact that you see him training himself so hard before he gets into
Yeah.
it. It really it felt like kind of Olympian in
Also,
a way.
yeah.
That's true. I
Also-
suppose so, but I just like felt like I don't buy this at all.
Just
It just felt
quickly.
fake as
Yeah.
it felt really fake. I just felt like
I didn't like how
there was something
Batman
about
shot him
I
with
couldn't
the
get behind
kryptonite
it.
mist twice. So it's
Yeah.
like Superman on top, Batman on top, Superman on top, Batman on top. Like, please don't keep zigzagging like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I didn't like what he did. Like, why would he just shove him down? He had him there. He could have just stabbed him right then and there. And then the movie would be over. But anyway,
But yeah, then Doomsday would kill everyone.
Yeah. Should we talk about the Doomsday?
Yeah. On the other
fights?
hand, Doomsday fight, brilliant.
Really?
I thought
Amazing.
it was fantastic.
It's kind of
I
like
thought
There
it
are
was
some
really cool.
things where I feel like every time we saw Doomsday do that thing where he'd like create that big
Yeah.
Yeah.
do that big explosion thing, that
Yeah.
happens way too many times. It's like, okay, we get it, you can blow crap up.
Yeah, that's
Can
more.
we,
That's
like,
more.
get-
That's more of his like evolving stage as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Like,
felt like
is,
it was just Zack Snyder trying to shove
Not
as much
even my
cool stuff
final
into a fight as
form.
possible.
Huh?
But that's just me.
This isn't even my final form.
It was
Yeah.
just. You
I'm
know,
glad he grew spikes.
It was
That was cool because it seemed like he was going from this
yeah
like
the grey Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
to
It felt like
He kind of turned into Doomsday.
Very
He
organic.
got close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Which
that
I-
sounds lame, but
I'm
No,
okay
yeah, I
with
get
it.
it,
It's
yeah.
not how it works in the comics, but I was okay
Yeah.
with it.
I'd also, yeah, but like the big explosions to me just felt like Kevin Bacon in X-Men First Class, but slightly less ugly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin Bacon.
What about Lex Luthor actually creating Doomsday? How do we feel about that? Like we knew it was
I'm-
coming.
Does he
We
not
knew it was
in the-
coming.
I'm
but
all,
like,
I'm all for changing things up if it serves the story, and I feel like it served the story really
Yeah.
well.
I also think that
Like,
they
and
didn't.
we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
how adaptation
Yeah.
should go.
like I thought it was like a little convenient. They just had all the means suddenly to make Doomsday
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
nowhere, but like it was
But they were there and they existed.
Yeah,
and a lot of them
I
are
suppose so.
pre-existing for Men of Steel.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
That ship is just like
how did they
full
not
of Deus
stop
Ex
them?
Machinas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
Full
like
of them.
having Doomsday be created while by Lex Luthor, but also by Kryptonian tech, that really helped.
37% capacity.
Yeah, that still helped keep the whole like it was close enough to the origin story to not really have that many gripes. But gosh, I had a point that I was going to make, but I've forgotten what it was.
Sorry.
Uh,
Do you want us to keep going while you think of it?
no, go for it. Yeah,
Sorry, man.
no, you're right. I blanked.
I didn't like it how... Actually, no, I'll just go with what I like first. Actually, no, I'll go with what I didn't like first, because I forgot the other one. I didn't like how, like, the gravity and science and stuff, and how he just crashed down, and Superman didn't, like... That doesn't make any sense.
wait, when is this?
After the
Again-
nuke.
After the nuke.
Oh,
It doesn't make any sense.
the
What
nuke
if-
bit was stupid. It's
Yeah.
like you have him nearly die up in space,
Oh,
then he
yeah.
comes down, and then he dies again. Like, just have
Yeah.
one crucial
Didn't
moment
he-
where you think he's died.
Didn't
Like, I
he
think
turn
that
a
just
little
felt
bit
cheap.
just before the missile hit? I thought Doomsday turned a little bit just before the missile hit.
Yeah, but still,
Because they're
like,
struggling.
you're
Like,
still in
Superman
no...
was winning.
You're still
Like,
outside
they
the
were
Earth's
struggling.
atmosphere.
Also, can we appreciate
Mhm.
Superman was winning?
What was
Like,
his plan? Just to,
Superman was
like,
finding a
bash
way
him
to
out?
kill Doomsday.
But then the
knows?
US
And then
government
the
came
nuke-
and
Like, was he just gonna
Everything.
keep going, like kicking him into the
And
atmosphere?
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
makes
Kick him
him
out
stronger,
all-
that's a shame.
Oh my god, he looked so much like
Which,
Superman when he
I'm
was
pretty
like
sure-
flying Doomsday
Yeah.
up in space. I'm like, that is Superman.
And we got the Dark Knight Returns throwback as well.
Yeah.
Because in Dark Knight
Yeah.
Returns he also gets hit by a nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got that awesome
That-
skinny,
Yeah, the
skinny
skeletal
ripped
zombie
straight
Superman.
out of the
Yeah,
comic
a lot of
book.
stuff.
Yeah.
Was,
Honestly-
Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Knight Returns, but that was a good, like, throwback thing.
Honestly, the skeletal, like the special effects to get him all skeletal and thing, they didn't really sell me.
Yeah,
They
they
felt
looked like they
a
were
little
half
bit-
developed.
I thought
Honestly,
that
they
was-
looked like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
I actually bought it really well.
I don't know. It's-
But maybe I've spent too long studying Henry Cavill's face.
Same.
that's reasonable.
I could go for Henry
I
Cavill.
didn't like. I actually liked how they used a nuke and then it didn't work. It's like a cop out in some movies where it's like, oh, we use a nuke and then everything's fine.
Yeah,
But
like
it
I
wasn't,
wouldn't. Yeah,
so-
I didn't have a problem with the nuke. Apart from the fact it felt very Avengers with Tony Stark. that I was kind
Yeah,
of like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
we're doing this again. But also, I
Yeah,
feel like
pretty much.
don't have Superman nearly die. Like,
Oh,
like
but
just
also,
have him get out of the way and then see him coming back down, and we're like, oh yeah, he's all right.
But the thing I'll
and then-
say,
And then when he dies later, then
Yeah.
I feel
There
like
was
the
a
emotional
really
impact of that would have
weird
been much
merge
better.
with the Dark
the
Knight
government,
Returns and the death
the
of
government
Superman.
subplot made no sense.
Which one?
The government subplot, just like everything, the fact that character from Man of Steel was in the movie,
Yeah.
and now he's a senator,
Felt wrong.
and then
Not
like,
senator. Secretary
State
of
senator.
oh,
Defense.
who knows?
Secretary.
Who knows what he is now? But
Yeah.
like,
He shouldn't have been that.
yeah, it just
It should have just been Lex caught
Yeah,
bad
it
guys
just
in the
felt-
desert.
yeah, it just
There
felt
was
just
no need for
forced.
that government connection.
Yeah.
And like, and it was for like, oh, more chaos and stuff with Superman. Let's just nuke them. Sure.
Yeah.
America.
America. Also, the fact they had a American flag draped over Superman's coffin, I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I mean,
Well, he was
Wonder
more-
Woman, Wonder
I
Woman
know he
summed
was
it up really well. Is
based
that
in-
like that the only way they knew how to treat
That
him was a soldier,
so
was as a
good.
soldier.
That was such a good line. So, and then when she said that, I'm like,
yeah,
that
like
that
they
whole makes
didn't-
sense to me.
They
I'm
didn't
like,
know how else.
I thought she
to
was
treat
actually
him.
saying that to Batman. You only know how to treat him as a soldier.
no,
Because he's very solemn. No, not solemn, sorry. He's very
no,
blank.
I thought she was referring to how
reserved.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Well,
he was
yeah,
referring-
because they were talking about
Maybe
that.
I might have missed that.
They were talking about the whole like
because I was
circus.
just in denial of him being dead.
Yeah,
Sorry, James.
you were blocking everything out. But no, they were talking about how there was that whole circus of the massive funeral that was going on for the public, and that's when they sort of transitioned and talked about him as a soldier. But also, I think the fact that he's draped an American flag, like, he's always been, from the start, he's supposed to be, like, the all-American hero.
I
Like,
know.
he's supposed to be that, like, ideal...
I think it's a
sort
dig
of-
at America. Like a lot of the movies, a dig at America and humanity in general. That's the way I see it.
Fair enough.
I didn't think about that.
Like they show the negative points where, like they're accusing him, like he saved the world, and it's like, oh no, 5,000 people died, but it could have been like 8 billion people. They don't look at the bigger picture, and they're just accusing him
It's
of.
hard to when thousands are dead, though. So
But
I feel like people are saying
Ah.
there are definitely better ways we could have dealt with this.
yeah, I guess. So.
What?
9/11-ish.
Oh, we're missing.
Wonder
We haven't
Woman?
talked about Lex Luthor. We haven't talked about Wonder Woman, and we haven't
I
talked about
really
the
want to
Flash,
talk about Lex Luthor.
or
as well.
Aquaman, or Cyborg.
Well, we don't need to talk
Shall
about.
we? Who will we start with?
Okay, can I cover Cyborg, Flash?
Yeah, let's
and
cover the
Aquaman
cameo.
Yeah,
really
let's,
quickly?
let's do this
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Having those
books.
folders there when Batman's in the Batcave analysing those files.
Good idea.
Really cool.
Hmm.
Him and Wonder Woman discussing finding the others at the very end of the movie at Superman's funeral.
Also
Very
really
cool. Batman opening up the files to watch all of those videos
Wasn't that
right
Wonder
before
Woman?
he's about to
Um,
fight
that was Wonder
Superman.
Woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Batman only
He only
looked at the
watched-
photos of Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
yeah.
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman looks at them.
completely derailed the
Sorry.
whole build up to
Yeah.
the main fight
Yeah.
by watching videos.
Sorry, my bad. It was Wonder Woman.
That was a
but you
bad
get the
placement.
point.
Yeah, it was-
You
Yeah,
get
it
the
was,
point I'm
it
trying
was.
to make. It's like,
If
here
they
we go. We're getting into the fighting. Hold on.
Wonder Woman's
videos.
got to watch some clips.
Yeah.
Stop.
Wonder Woman's got to
Wait a minute.
She's got to
She's
read
got
this
to get her
email.
priorities.
She's got to
in order.
read this email first.
I mean,
It's
honestly,
really important that she
Who-
reads this email.
who needs to waste time watching YouTube videos?
I know.
Meta.
Well done.
Cyborg, awesome. Like
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
expected.
really cool.
What I
I think-
expected.
They're really cool, but
Yeah.
they should not have been in the movie.
All those clips could have been a lot better as like a viral marketing campaign or something like that.
Ooh,
Like
yes.
having like
Yeah,
a
that's
URL
right.
that you have to like track down or
Yeah.
something. You
For
get
the
to
Justice
see all those
League.
League
clips.
movie.
Yeah,
What about
Aquaman looks
Yeah.
so cool though.
Exactly.
Did
that
when he was like
Yeah,
coming out.
yeah,
That is like
They
a
were all
perfect
freaked out.
cast. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
He felt a little slow underwater, but like I
Yeah.
feel like he should be more mobile
was-
underwater.
I
But like
think
it was
they-
still super cool.
I mean,
I
they
think-
probably didn't invest much
Yeah.
No,
like
yeah.
tech into making
Yeah.
it look good. Like that was probably just. Don't worry, we'll get to
Well,
your
yeah.
movie and making you look
Yeah,
good.
but
But for now,
it's-
just swim through this water
Wouldn't
and look.
Wouldn't he have been
Threatening.
looking at the camera like, what even is this?
I feel like
Isn't he
was.
uncivilized at this point? Like, is he?
He's,
I mean,
he's
this is a developed
Atlantean
society
civilized.
down
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
they're
I'm
like,
I don't know much about Aquaman.
they're like
Yeah, but also
they're a
we-
civilized society,
Here's what
but
you
like
need
they're
to know.
different technology.
Here's what you need to know. The Big Bang has had him wrong for years. The Big Bang has just convinced the world that
Probably
he's
not.
a loser.
We don't
Well,
talk
yeah,
about that
no.
show.
That's because the Big Bang is
Not.
shit.
Ugh.
Yeah. He is not a loser. Aquaman is
Alright.
awesome.
Also, we don't know anything about Aquaman in this universe at
yes.
all.
Yeah,
yet.
that's
He's a
true.
completely
Good
new
point.
take.
He
We've
could be
never
Kryptonian
seen.
for all we
I
know.
don't know, that's the way I saw it. I saw him as looking
We
like,
don't
what
know
even
that
is this?
Wonder
And then he-
Woman-
I don't know.
Isn't a result of the Kryptonian who left that ship 20,000 years ago.
I mean,
Because in Man of Steel,
Ooh,
that ship
No.
is
But
buried
basically
under the ice
confirmed
for
that he's
20
Amazonian because
Yeah,
they
dude,
released a
like
press
that
photo
photo.
today
I tagged
and
you
they're
in it on
Amazons
Facebook.
Yeah.
and they're just
Oh,
like
okay,
straight
I
up
haven't looked at
Amazons
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
straight
and
up.
it's cool.
It is
Yeah.
so
I'm
cool.
interested
They're
to
going
see-
with the famous. Yeah.
I'm interested to
20,000
see
years
if they
is a
just
long
straight
time.
up slot Greek gods into it, which would be really interesting
Oh,
to see
yeah.
if that
Mm.
goes horribly or
Look,
okay.
they were making the allusion to like Zeus and stuff as well.
When? What?
During
Yeah,
Lex
Lex
Luthor's
Luthor's
speech.
Oh,
And they're
that's
like-
true. Yeah,
And they were talking about how like
They mentioned a lot of
gave
gods,
man
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Zeus punished
still, like-
the Titans and,
and-
stuff like that.
like there were
Um,
lots of like religious
yeah.
connotations.
there's a lot of
DC's always
religious
been
things.
good
Yeah,
at
that's
that.
very true.
Oh, all about
really
that.
want to talk about Flash.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Go,
Flash
go,
time.
Flash.
Talk about Flash.
Fucking.
Ezra Miller is like I love Grant Gustin,
Mm.
and like as much as I wish Grant Gustin would be Flash in this universe,
I was really scared.
It
Ezra,
would
Ezra
work.
Miller
Yeah.
I'm sold.
is super cool.
I'm
He's
I'm
really
sold
I
sold
wasn't
on it.
sold
It
at first because, like, when they. Granted, I don't know that much about the Flash, but when they announced he'd been cast, he was fresh off his Perks of Being a Wallflower image, where he was just that weedy,
Yeah.
beardy looking
He looked
hippie
like-
dude. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
he looked
that's
like
what
me.
is.
But then, like, you
Barry
see him-
Allen is like a
he's
massive
skinnier.
nerd.
Skinnier, yeah.
Okay.
Skinny
But,
man.
Like
weed-
massive nerd.
Like, Ezra Miller would literally turn up in interviews stoned. It was great, and great to watch, but, like,
Entertaining.
I was just like, I don't really
Not
buy
very
him as the Flash.
professional.
Yeah.
But then, like, you see him
Yeah,
these
he's the
days, and
Flash.
he's really cleaned up.
Yeah.
And stuff.
That's good.
Bulked up.
Like, you
Both.
bulked up too.
What
Not
about?
as much
I
as
buy
Ben
it.
Affleck, but he bulked up.
I like how they're using like they're definitely like changing up how his powers look visually from the TV show.
Mm.
Like it's
Definitely.
very much like actual lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
he's
just like
blinking
this is
different.
like just like it's just like
It's straight up lightning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
The-
a flash.
Yeah, that's the other thing I found interesting was when he popped in like that. Okay, first of
His
all,
message, yeah.
First of all, going into this movie, I expected the Flash cameo to be like a red blur across the screen
Yeah.
or something. I
Yeah.
had no idea Ezra had filmed anything for this.
Mm.
Now, that being said, imagine my surprise when all of a sudden there's a blue flash of light and there's Ezra Miller's face surrounded by some kind of robot apparatus thing that's like obviously something to do with time travel.
Popping out
But
of the TV.
Something
That's so
that I've noticed is the portal that he's popped out of, that's obviously Speed Force, was blue.
It was like a bright white.
With a blue
cool.
tinge.
It was
I thought
closer
it
to
was
blue
blue.
than
Yeah.
red.
Yeah,
It
that was
definitely-
what that.
it definitely
That was
wasn't
what
yellow.
that vision was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
what that was.
Yeah,
that was the Flash.
Okay,
That was
yeah.
Flash popping
Well,
out of Speed Force.
There's a whole bunch of stuff about Blue Flash and
Okay.
like it's a whole thing.
How
What
much?
was she saying
Um,
about Lois?
Google
How,
it.
how much dialogue did you guys catch? Because all the
Not
main
much.
stuff that I
I
thought
was
is
so
that
surprised.
is that Lois Lane
can
is
say
the
that,
key,
yeah.
To something,
Yeah.
and you were right all along.
which sounds like it's leading up to Injustice, which is weird
It really
because
does.
it's just come off the back of all this hype up for what's obviously like a Justice League
And-
War style storyline.
Yeah, and the way Superman killed Batman in the Vision
Mhm.
was the same way that Superman kills Joker in
Mm.
Injustice.
Yeah, that's
That's
So and in theory, they both killed Lois Lane.
yeah.
Like in theory, Superman says you took her away from me,
Which
then
could-
just like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
doesn't he also say you can still save us? I swear to God.
I
heard
thought he
that
said
at
you can
some
still
point.
save
the
her.
Flash. The Flash does say that
Oh,
to
okay.
Batman.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think Flash is
Second
what I think what
viewing,
Flash is trying to say is, don't kill Lois Lane, or Superman will just lose it.
yeah.
Which is what happens.
And also saying that like you're right, Superman is unstable.
Mm.
Do something about it.
For sure. But yeah,
Well, actually,
so
yeah, I don't.
That's how
I
I,
don't
read.
like
that's
the
how I read.
idea of Superman being unstable.
Yeah, that's
Quite,
Lois Lane being
I think he's-
enough
he
to
was
tip
more
him over the
human.
edge, I'm okay
I
with.
think he was just very human in this.
But I-
Yeah.
that's true.
Like I don't have them either engaged or close to engaged first.
Mm.
Maybe even you know what I would.
Well, they
toy,
kind
I
of-
would toy the idea of them getting married, her being pregnant and then dying.
Well, that's
Well,
what
that's-
happens. In
that's
Injustice.
Injustice.
That's what happens in
That's
Injustice.
what happened.
Oh, that is what happens.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
I can't
yeah.
remember. I'm sorry.
The other
I've
thing
played
about
it
that,
once, and that was a while ago.
Is
The other
that,
thing about that
is that
is-
Superman also is the one that kills Lois Lane in Injustice?
Yeah.
and also by the end of this movie, they kind of are engaged.
Yeah.
There's the whole thing with
Yeah.
the ring that
Yeah.
Superman had left at home, and
Yeah.
Lex Luthor knows that Clark Kent is Superman.
Mm.
that too.
That's
yeah,
Oh
he
yeah.
knows that.
Like, why isn't Lex Luthor just yelling out to every guard,
Well, I mean,
Clark Kent is Superman?
because he's too busy screaming around Doomsday, so I'm pretty sure everyone
Good
thinks he's
point.
insane.
Darkseid.
Should we talk
Why
about
would you
Lex Luthor?
try to
Yeah,
get
let's
Because
talk
we're
about-
going really.
Let's talk about Lex. No, this is
Oh.
great. This is awesome.
Nah, a lot of this will get edited out. Or everything
Nope.
funny I've said.
Nope, I'm top and
Okay.
tailing this and
It's
uploading
a
it.
Alright.
controversial film. Like, you
Cut
can't
out all the
help
bits
but
where I
have a
cough.
long conversation
Yeah.
about it.
I
we
really,
have like 5 people with different opinions.
also true. I really enjoyed Lex. I think
Yeah.
he was a total departure and a really big risk on
Mm.
Lex.
A lot of people
Luthor?
didn't like it.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
which
you
is
did.
I enjoyed it. Yep.
It felt kind of like a lot of villains are going into that really
Yeah.
kind of childish psycho territory.
Yeah.
Like with the
Good
whole
point.
like, he was very childlike when he didn't get what he wanted. His like lips would literally tremble, and like when he lost his way because he got mad during the speech, it was just like.
Mm.
And I feel a lot of villains are going that way, so it kind of is starting to feel
Yeah.
a bit generic.
Jared
But he
Leto
played
as
it-
Joker will be similar, won't it?
He
Yeah.
played it up well.
Which
Kind of.
I'm not looking forward to because
Mm.
but that's a whole other
Yeah.
video.
That, I think
Whole other video.
that's a little more personal.
Yeah, that's.
I do.
I
There
also
was.
think the Joker's been overdone, but anyway.
Yeah, there was a line, and it was a really tiny thing, but it was Lex talking about. He just mentioned like how he wished he had those powers, and there was one like really specific phrase of to save myself from Daddy's fists, because that's why he told
Did he
him
also
to
say
do.
something about Daddy's abomination? And like I kind of
He
took
called-
that to mean
He called his dad an abomination.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought yeah, because I'm
It's
like
just an
did
abusive
they
file.
just randomly throw in sexual abuse? Like that's what kind of
No,
what
yeah.
I took it saying, but just
Yeah.
physical abuse is just
Yeah.
as bad.
But yeah, so I think having that layer to his character
Mm.
definitely like explains a lot of those mannerisms and that sort of childlike
Yeah, that's
personality,
true.
which I think was good.
But I feel like they should have touched on it more instead of
Yeah.
just having it be a throwaway line.
yeah, for sure.
I don't think Lex was particularly well written.
Yeah.
But
Delivered
Jesse
really-
Eisenberg
Eisenberg
sold
Yeah,
it.
he-
He
felt it,
performed
yeah.
it really,
He felt a
really
bit like
well.
if Mark Zuckerberg turned evil. That's kind of what I had in my head, like with the sneakers and
you just
the
can't
suits.
get rid of
Yeah.
that role, can you?
No.
Oh, that's right, because he actually
Yeah.
played
Yeah,
it.
he actually played
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
How did I forget that?
But he did play that sort of eccentric, like
yeah,
internet celebrity kind of, like
Yeah.
with the opening scene where he's like playing basketball in the
Yeah.
office and
Yeah.
like just very Googlish. in
yeah.
that.
Villains are getting very like eccentric these
Yeah.
days. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
more
like
and more.
they're starting to run out of ideas. to
Yeah,
make
and
it
it's like-
creative.
I'm excited to see that's probably going to result eventually in a resurgence of the very cool, calm, and collected villain. Like we're going to see someone's going to do
back as Lex Luthor.
someone's going to do something really, really good.
Dude,
with
Rosenbaum
that-
was awesome.
I know.
Okay, we're talking about something different now. Yeah, but I definitely think that kind of villain is going to have a resurgence, and there's going to be like it's the equilibrium will be restored, but there's definitely a fad going on at the moment.
Brainiac.
Oh, Brainiac could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if like everyone's just choosing to ignore like his other side. Like you can see sometimes he has the
You can
confident
see it's
side.
clearly unstable.
Yeah.
Like he's confident at times, and then he just like is just
Loses
rambling
it
about
sometimes,
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to pick up on it except
Very-
for the senator.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
that's
oh,
it.
Yeah.
oh, that's what I meant to say. His plan sucks.
Yeah.
His plan is just awful.
Yeah.
Needlessly convoluted.
Just
yeah.
like a really, really,
Well,
really
him not
bad
knowing
plan.
about Marvel
Also, I'm not
is
entirely
pretty
sure
smart.
what his end goal is there.
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it just like
If you knew that
I don't know.
Darkseid was
I
coming,
think
why
his
bother
plan
with
was
all this?
like get Superman to kill Batman and then get Doomsday to kill Superman. I think
suppose
yeah.
yeah?
wasn't
Or,
explained.
or,
though.
or get Batman to kill Superman and then get Doomsday to kill everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was weird. His plan was just awful. Like,
Yes.
just bad.
Well,
Very, very poorly.
I mean, I was completely
Not as bad
I
as
was sold.
making an island in the mid of
Yeah.
Metropolis, like Superman Returns style,
yeah, that
but
was
still bad.
Or just removing California.
Yeah. I was sold on his obsession to bring down Superman's image, like
was
as
cool.
opposed to the exposition of Man of Steel, which is a little heavy-handed. It's sort of fitted here.
Yeah.
But that said, yes, the plan is needlessly convoluted,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how he was expecting to keep control of Doomsday.
Yeah, no.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he just expecting it would do as he said because it had a couple
Because
of
it
drops of
definitely
blood?
came for him. Like, I remember
Yeah.
when, in like the
Yeah,
first thing
that
he did
was-
was he saw
took a
Lex
swing
and
at
took a
Lex,
swing at
yeah.
him, and then Superman blocked it, and then
Yeah.
he kind of forgot
I don't know,
about it.
maybe-
He was definitely going for Lex.
Actually, that was one moment where they did Superman right, because Superman's protecting the,
The
one
villain,
person
yeah.
who's just tried to destroy him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really well done. I like
That was good.
I kind of
Mate,
saw it coming.
Also, I like how Batman called Lex and was just like, oh. It was like after saving Martha.
Yeah,
That
it was,
was-
it was a verbal middle finger.
That
It
was
was great.
so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Here's an idea. What if like
You
the
failed,
ship
Lex.
actually like has a mind of its own and manipulated to Lex into completing their goal of destroying the world and then creating a new Krypton?
Because
I
he
know.
did use Zod's key, not
Interesting
Carl's
theory.
key.
Yeah.
that's true.
So,
So
like, he
it's
may
not
have said, "Oh,
possibly
if you put
reading
your blood in,
into
you
it
can
much.
control Doomsday," but that's not actually the case.
Yeah, that's cool. It's very convoluted.
Yeah,
And definitely not explained.
That's
Yeah.
one for the fan theories website. I think.
Yeah,
Good one though.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder
Oh
Woman.
no. I
Yeah,
guess.
Wonder
Woman.
Hang on,
Wonder
hang on.
Woman?
The Daily Planet. Oh, actually, yeah, go to Wonder Woman first. It's more important.
She was great.
She's cool. Amazing.
That's what I was to say.
No.
So good. That costume is just the perfect blend between homage to the comics and not being stupidly skimpy.
Yeah.
Revealing,
It's
yeah.
fantastic.
It's very practical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very.
Like
yes,
you weren't
that's
looking
the
at
word.
a cleavage
Thank you,
the whole
word
time because it was
practical.
like literally just bulked out in
Yeah,
metal,
nice.
and you're like, even think
I
about
did not
grabbing it
recognise
and-
that girl from the Fast and Furious films.
No.
I'd never seen
Gal
her in anything
Gadot,
before
Gal
in my life.
Gadot is not the girl I saw in those movies. Completely different
Yeah.
person.
And she nailed the voice as well. Like,
Totally sold him
he's
as
got
Wonder
an
Woman.
Israelite
the
background.
accents.
Yeah.
Israelite background.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, she was an Israeli model.
yeah.
And she got in Fast and Furious because pretty lady cast her.
And
And
now
then-
she's Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
and now
she's
she's
cool.
Wonder Woman. She actually
So good.
she
Her
proved she
accent
can actually
is
act.
Yeah, it was
Um,
great.
she looked. The thing I loved about it is she looked like she was having fun fighting Doomsday. Like
Yeah.
there's a scene where like he bashes her down, and she's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
And she kind of like
"I'm
smiles.
gonna freaking come
Yeah.
after you."
Like when she
she's
drops her sword and she
enjoying
goes to pick up her sword, he actually
it. She
smiles.
and she's kind of just like,
this is
bring
fun.
it.
because that's the person that Wonder Woman is. She's a warrior.
The warrior, yeah.
Like, and she hasn't had a proper fight in a century or so, as far as we're aware.
I'm so
Yeah, she was.
keen.
Yeah, she was just.
I'm so keen for this Wonder Woman solo film.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna be
it's-
like
it's
the
I'm
Captain
so
America
keen.
one.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
the
I'm
DC
getting very
universe.
Captain
I'm getting
America
Captain America
vibes.
vibes.
I'm
Good,
Which
just
I'm not
had
really
sort of getting Captain America
It's
vibes.
just I feel like
in
that might
terms
just
of
that might just be
story,
the
but I
period.
like
The
hope-
period, yeah.
I hope
I'm
it's
thinking
not
period.
like Captain America because she's a very different.
Very, very.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
yeah. It's not
Similar
gonna be
story,
campy. It's
similar
not gonna
story.
be campy.
That's fine, but I do not want.
Yeah.
Same
I don't think it's
character
gonna be
vibes.
campy. But
When's
like,
that being released? 2K17?
Next year.
Next year. I really loved
Yeah,
how they
2017.
kept with her traditional weapons, like the
Mm.
lasso.
Oh,
True.
the
cool.
That was
That
cool.
was-
And
I
the
thought-
bracelets.
yeah,
were
bracelets
really
were
cool.
really cool.
Underused though, but like
Underused.
It-
Yeah, and
it's
it felt
never
a bit
explained
like.
where they came from. It's like they
Well, that's what I
magically
assumed.
appear.
That
I mean,
that's just going to go into.
it is
A lot of that
magical.
comes down to 2.5 hour movie. There was a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
that got cut.
But like,
Mm.
But
What-
there's a lot of
yeah.
things that you could have replaced.
Like I would have, if
Yeah.
if they'd expanded a little more, I would have sat there for 4 hours maybe.
yeah, I'm so
the
keen to
more
just
the
watch a
movie
movie
went
with her.
on, the
Yeah.
more fun I had with it.
Mm.
The more I enjoyed it. Like it went
I still
from the
feel like,
start,
yeah.
me being like, "This is sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what's going on. I really hope I like this film by the end of it." So I was like, "This is so much fun. I don't want this to end." And then the rubble rises up.
I wish we saw more of Wonder Woman fighting though, instead of just the
No.
we need to
But it is
we need to
called
break
Batman
up the
v
angsty scene.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Just
This is just me being a fangirl. Like it
Yeah,
would have been
fair
cool to
enough.
see it. But then you had a really cool analogy before when we were talking about it,
Hmm.
like with the Do you want to explain it? Because I can't remember the term now.
The which oh right
Like where
yeah.
she just takes all the damage. And,
Yeah, I was talking about the fight in terms of like your classic MMOs or your D&D or like just your fantasy setting. Like you've got your your casters who stand at the back and just sort of do ranged attacks, which is your Batmans, and you got your Superman who's dodging in and out of the fight, kind of that mid-range fighter. But Wonder Woman's the tank of that. Like she is
Nice.
up front,
Yeah.
she's taking all the big hits. She's
Having
dealing
fun.
all the big
Mm.
damage, cuts bloody Doomsday.
Which is probably accurate because as
yeah.
powerful as Superman is, he doesn't really know how to fight.
No, Wonder
Mm.
Woman is like
Yeah,
she's a warrior
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
and through. She's an absolute
Yeah.
soldier, and she
So,
was
I just-
wrecking
yeah.
shop.
I just
in
wish
the-
we saw a little bit more of that.
Yeah, the
But
fight that
no
was.
complaints.
It came
Yeah,
in too
the
late.
fight-
I think I was like, did I even watch
Like-
the same trailer? Like,
Like when I heard Zack Snyder was doing Batman vs Superman, I'd like recently watched Sucker Punch, which is a massive clusterfuck of a movie, and it's all like
I don't even watch
slow mo upskirt panty shots. And when I heard he was putting Wonder Woman into it, I'm like, oh god, if he treats her like he treated Sucker Punch, I'll be really mad. But I was very impressed, I have to say, with how he handled Wonder Woman, and that seems to be a general.
Consensus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
consensus that she's
everybody,
great.
everybody likes Wonder Woman. Everybody loves Batman.
I feel like a lot
People
of their
still a little divided on Superman. I love this Superman.
yeah, it's good.
Alright. Any
Final
big
rating?
Direction.
negative points?
Yes,
Negative
big
points.
negative point. The first act of the film
Oh
is
man,
all over the
Yeah,
place.
it
In
really
fact,
is.
it even hints at some possible story arcs that are literally left in the first act.
Yeah, like
Oh.
the whole bullet thing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yes!
that just yeah.
So unnecessary.
What? Like it didn't even make sense. I was like, what?
I can't even remember. It's just a lot.
Just
there
happening
that
to find
didn't need
kryptonite
to
in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, hello! It's a big chunk of kryptonite.
Mm.
Oh well, no, they talked about because that was where the world engine from the last movie was.
And it did
So that's
take,
where all the
and it
terrible-
did take
they
them
talked about
18 months to find it.
I thought
Yeah.
that's when they were going to introduce Aquaman.
Yeah, me
Have him
too.
like
There
watching
was
from a
a
distance.
there was a
That's
big
what
team.
I
Because I got really excited and
Yeah.
then nothing happened. I was like, oh.
Yeah. But
Was-
it's like literally the establishing shot for that scene was a couple kids in a boat, and the background was the destroyed world engine sitting in the
I suppose
like
so.
half submerged in the water.
Oh, that's true.
Which
I
had
think
a little bit of, what do you call it?
coral.
Coral, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't
it was-
know
it
why
was-
I couldn't think of that word.
It's obviously that it's been sitting there for a while and that
Mm.
it's defunct and it's not
suppose
working. But it's yeah.
Defunct.
I don't like how Mercy wasn't like she's in the comics and in Injustice.
Yeah.
Because all I want to see is a Mercy versus Batman fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish there was more.
She died, didn't she? In the
Oh yeah, she got
Or-
blown up.
I
She
just
didn't
thought
do
she was
anything.
just lucky.
I think
Well,
maybe
Mercy's like his bodyguard in the comics.
Yeah.
She's a
Oh, well,
cyborg.
it would have been cool if they'd shown that.
Nope, she got blown up.
Blown up.
Blue Dot.
Maybe she'll be a cyborg in the next one.
Oh, there you go.
Carol Ferris.
That was cool. Major
Does
Major
survive.
Ferris.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That was a good nod.
she'll be back for the Green Lantern Corps.
Oh yes, she will.
I think maybe adding on 30 more minutes, having Lex's side of the story more, just so we had an idea of where he's going and not just this crazy
Maybe not
guy.
even 30 more minutes. Maybe just replacing unnecessary
Yeah,
scenes
yeah.
from the first act
Yeah.
with more character development for him.
Like, he's a smart guy. He's not completely crazy, but it just comes
Yeah.
off as he's crazy and somehow
we
he's at the
needed
head
just
of
a
this huge
little
business.
more to work with to completely buy
Yeah.
what Jesse Eisenberg was doing. Because Jesse Eisenberg did the best with what he had.
Yeah, he did.
But you can't
Yeah.
fully buy into it.
Things like
He's a good actor.
yeah, and like you get those glimpses of his genius, like the scene with the Jolly Ranchers, where he like
Yeah.
unwraps it and like you can tell the way that he's manipulating the senator. He's like, "Yep, cool. You're gonna do all this. Yep, gonna do this. Yep, okay. Eat this for me." Just shoves it in his mouth. Just, up, yes, sir, and just gargles his Jolly Ranchers
And like,
for him.
and like he knows he's being played. The senator,
Yeah.
you can see it in his face.
Yeah.
He just lets it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And that just that scene
Weird,
of him just
creepy innuendos.
jamming the Jolly Rancher in his face
Yeah.
is just like it's a really good visual
Mm.
metaphor for that manipulation.
I'm thinking there may be even more to it, like some kind of threat that we didn't see. Like, to why
Yeah,
he
it's
was
called Darkseid.
so submissive, like,
Maybe.
to Lex, just generally.
You're talking about the...
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
I
Didn't
think
make much sense,
No.
unless he was, like, friends with his dad or something. I don't
there
know.
was probably stuff that was cut from that for sure.
Mm.
That seemed like one
Yeah.
of those things. It was a good
Yeah.
scene though.
But as the movie went on, the focus got better and better and better. And there were things that sort of didn't make sense when you first watch it, and then when it gets around to the end of the film, you understand why it's there. But rather than having a nice sequential, brilliantly crafted film, it just sort of... We get a cone instead, and it ends on a really fine point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have nowhere to go at the end of that movie,
Mm.
well and truly.
Mm.
It's a
Except
very-
the resurrection of Superman.
It was a very
Is he
Nolan-esque
Happy
ending,
Easter.
I thought.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like, in terms
interesting point. I said this as well. Interesting that the film opens up worldwide on Good Friday because the saviour of the Christian faith dies on Good Friday, and then Superman, who's constantly,
He's like the Jesus.
a reference to Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
There's a
Christian
Hey, Ben.
imagery in
There's a
Superman.
lot of
Ben.
Jesus imagery.
Superman, the saviour,
Opens
dies.
24th worldwide, not 25th.
Oh,
Wow.
We saw it on...
I tried.
But yeah, I was
Tried
thinking, like,
very hard.
Inception.
It's Easter.
Like,
yeah,
close enough.
yeah. The ending was very
Inception-like.
very like
Yeah,
it was like Inception with the
The totems.
the
yeah.
totem,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
and
yeah.
also even like with
Ooh, Dark Rises.
Dark Rises,
Mm.
which I think he should have cut the ending of that to like just Alfred seeing him and then just cut. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
that's a whole
That
other.
would have been
whole
great. Yeah.
Can we do a video on the Nolan Batman films?
Yeah, I'm in.
I mean,
Yeah, at some
Yeah,
point.
do you want to film it right now?
no,
No,
it's like
good.
3 a.m.
Has anybody...
Literally 3 a.m.
Have we covered everything, guys? Is there anything else we want to say at this point?
I don't know. Don't think so.
No,
Shout out to
I'm
Jeffrey
pretty
Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne. That
Shout out
was
to
great.
Holly
Yeah,
Hunter
that-
because her voice is amazing and she was Elastigirl.
Yeah,
And it
that's
felt,
true.
the beginning felt very The Incredibles. It was
Yeah,
just like The
that's
Incredibles live action with all the
Mm,
politicians.
Oh man, can we have that though?
That'd be pretty awesome.
Mm.
Alright,
Or it'd be real shit.
Darcy, what's your rating for the film?
Oh, we're doing numbers?
Do we not want to do
Uh,
numbers?
8.3.
Ooh,
Wow, that's
real
high.
specific.
that's high.
Well, yeah, I liked it. I'm not good at rating things, okay? I have low expectations.
I'm actually going to cop out. I have 2 separate ratings.
Okay.
But Ed,
That is a cop out. 7.5.
I'd go 7, I think.
Whew.
Or 6.5. 6 to 7. I'm going to cop out.
On a scale from Green Lantern to Winter Soldier,
yeah,
I'd give it a solid, say,
Avengers 2.
Oh, no,
yeah,
that's shit.
yeah, that's fair. Oh no,
Oh.
not 2. No, more like
I hated Age of Ultron.
no, yeah,
Oh,
it'd be
you-
more
yeah,
like
you
a
did. You guys did.
more like a first Captain America in terms of
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're someone who is vaguely familiar with DC Comics, this is like a solid 8. This is a lot of fun at the end, and
Mm.
it's a really interesting drama
That's
in
why,
the
yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
It's just that you sort of have to be patient at the beginning. If you are not, if you're like Amelia, who was here right at the start, is still here, has been
Say hi,
very
Amelia.
patient the entire
Yeah.
video.
She's
Thank
still
you very
awake.
much.
Good effort.
If you're
Thank you.
like Amelia and you're not very familiar with comic books at all, if you've seen like Avengers and Iron Man and like Guardians of the Galaxy and that's it, you are going to struggle to view this movie. So for you, that'd probably something closer to a 6, maybe even a 5.
Oh yeah, I'd say more
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. So be wary going into this film. Don't expect your popcorn flick, Batman and Superman punch each other for 2.5 hours. That's not what this movie is.
Don't expect Winter Soldier.
Don't expect Winter Soldier. This, Ed, you said this to me before we went in. You said this to me yesterday or the day before. This is very much for the fans, this movie. And
Which might come back to bite Warner Brothers in terms of the financial side of the movie.
Yeah.
maybe.
And their
Well,
future
James went
movies,
see it
but,
7
like,
times, so you know.
But it's done. I
It's-
think
Not
the general consensus is that we all really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Go
Entertaining.
see it. I'm going to go see it a second time.
Yep.
I'm probably going to go see it in gold class, actually.
Ooh.
That's a waste of money.
I'll probs.
I mean, I have this
Say it
gold
again.
class card I have to use.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
We
I'm
don't
going
have
to
to
do
use
it. Anyway, everybody good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
right.
8 is the
3
lowest rating I
a.m.
give for a movie.
It is
so
3
not
a.m.
really, but yeah.
Darcy,
Ed doesn't want to give it a
Yeah.
do
rating.
you want people to follow you? Is there somewhere we can
I
find you
didn't
at
see
all?
enough
Or
of
are you
No.
just saying goodbye?
You can follow me home some days, but I'll probably
That's
report you to the
weird.
police.
This is Darcy Nowak, Ed's brother. Thank you very much for being on, Darcy.
Nice.
Amelia, do you want people to follow you?
No.
No.
Cool.
That's
No.
Amelia. Thanks
Maybe
for being
one
on
day.
for the first few minutes of the show. Liv, do you want to be followed?
Like if you guys have like Twitters or stuff.
Yeah.
Or Tumblrs,
I deleted my
Tumblr
Twitter.
blogs that you
I haven't
like.
No one's looking at my Tumblr blog ever,
Well, it's like-
except for Jackson who already.
My
knows.
Twitter's Man
I
United,
have Instagram. but
FTWDH.
Thanks very
if
much.
you want to see a really goofy photo of Ben and Jackson and me seeing Bootman versus Soupy Moon, then follow Liv_Frico at Instagram.
Yeah.
If not, don't.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Wanna
Thank you
go to
very
bed.
much for coming on. Looks like you're going to have to come back for a Nolan talk
Oh yeah,
at some point.
I have a lot to say.
Jackson, can we follow you somewhere?
Yes.
Come back for the Civil War review. We're going to do the same thing.
Yeah. Just over a month's time.
Oh.
Jackson,
28.
where
Let's
can
see
we
an
follow
early
you?
session though.
Yeah.
9gag.com.
No.
I'm kidding. That's
Stop.
terrible place.
You were the
Now,
worst.
Go
4chan.
there at your own
4chan.
expense.
Get back to the sound cage right now. You can find Jackson at the sound cage.
You can find me in.
Can we follow you somewhere before you leave?
No.
Thank you very much for coming on. Off.
Oh.
Sexy.
Sakura.
And my name is Benjamin Waters. You can follow me on Twitter at BenjWaters01. That's BenJ Water with an S on the end 01 on Twitter. And Ed, where can people find
I
you?
am at Mr. Spaghetti22 on Twitter. I'm currently watching Daredevil Season 2 and I'm live tweeting my thoughts on that, and I tweet about a lot of other things as well that you might be
Edward
interested
Spaghetti.
in. So yeah, follow me there for lots of cool tweets.
Will anyone still be watching right now?
No.
Probably not.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook we are facebook.com/brokenturtle YouTube.
Okay.
If you are still watching, thank you very much. You've been very patient and we appreciate that.
And we are so sorry.
We are. Click the button below to subscribe. And until next time, have a good life.
Also like.
Also,
My
like-
favourite channel.
Good game, well played.
Jackson, you're
comment
just so much
your
better at this
thoughts.
than I am.
I just watch.
Comment your thoughts about the movie as well.
Oh yeah.
Or tweet at
comments
us.
down below.
Definitely comments.
Yeah.
And
And share it
Hashtag
with
all
your
lives
friends.
matter.
and also don't follow Shane Dawson.
Hashtag all lives matter.
Wait, what?
Alright. I don't know the right way
Don't
to say that.
subscribe to Shane
Can we just
Dawson.
cut it like a minute before?
Yeah.
Alright.
There's the subscribe button below. Till next time, have a good life.